Well, guys, recently I've been doing a bunch of 2v2 games for a recent tournament, so I thought it would be an ideal time to share with you guys my 2v2 knowledge covering compositions, playstyles, and what to focus on in-game. So, number one is compositions, obviously, and I'll get into that more in a bit. However, number two, I'm also going to be going over in the video, but it is denying resources. Food is always going to be the ideal resource to deny in 2v2s. Gold being slightly behind if you're facing a fast caster composition. However, if you deny their food, they can't produce anything anyway, so that is primary. Third, the first two obviously are the main points. However, I want to press that 2v2s are inherently more aggressive than 1v1s, because you can pressure two people instead of one, which means there are more resource points to pressure, and you have more units in a 1v1 than in a 1v1 obviously, if they're being and playing that typical defensive 1v1 strategy. Like if they're playing a 2v2 almost as a 1v1, and you're playing a 2v2 as a 2v2, you are going to be able to utilize units much more aggressively than they should be able to. As always, I like going over replays to show you guys exactly what I do. So this video, I will share with you guys two replays covering both aggressive and defensive composition styles. I don't want to limit your composition too much in 2v2s because really anything is possible. But ideally, you either want to play an aggressive / all-in style composition with either a knight / archer civ or two knight civs. For example, this would be English / Jeanne d'Arc, French / Russe, Delhi / French. And on screen, I can put some of the most popular comps to play aggressively in 2v2s. Obviously, this is not obviously the aggressive style is not limited to only these civs. China / Zushi can play aggressive with Zuganus. Aoe4 can play aggressive with mass archers, but these are the most common civs to play aggressive with. And I will show you guys aggressive composition style replay here from the recent tournament I played in. This was from the Debrils, or Devils, I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, 2v2 tournament from yesterday. And it is me and Puppy Paw versus Louis and CSO in the finals. Here you can see me and Puppy Paw are playing French / English. Obviously two very aggressive civs. And that is exactly what we plan to do here, just be aggressive. So the idea behind this game is to essentially, we're playing with an archer and knight civ, and they're playing with two knight civs, right? So we want to force them to make archers. So if I go spearman longbow, they cannot just both go knights because they won't be able to deal with my spearman / longbow, right? So I want to be forcing probably Russe here because French is the better knight civ, at least initially, to produce archers. And Puppy Paw would produce only knights, and I would produce spearmen and longbow for just a bit, but I should probably transition to only longbow at some point. Anyway, I don't want to focus too much on that. We're going to be focusing on the opening here. And I am opening with Dark Age Men at Arms just to slow down the French power. And this is not necessary, but the idea behind doing this is to allow my French power to get a knight out slightly quicker than William T. Because if you're playing an aggressive side, it is really important to have knight control. And doing a Dark Age pressure like this is one of the best ways to force that, right? Like, I pretty much am allowing Puppy Paw to get full knight control by forcing William T to build the towers, slow his knight production, essentially. I mean, he doesn't not actually able to reduce knight at this moment. He's behind an age up of Puppy Paw. Yeah. So that is the early game. Nothing too strange has happened at this point, and I actually like by slowing down that night production, right, Puppy Paw has actually gone on the deer now, which is really nice that he's able to do that because, like I noted earlier, food is one of the key ingredients of winning 2v2 games, right? And they know that, my opponents, obviously they're very good, so they're going pro scouts as well. Because I guess at this point they've kind of noticed that we are playing aggressively, right? So they need some sort of food income if they're going to survive this aggression. I have amenonyms in the back here, just making sure that they're not greedily going on the food either. And I am pressuring the gourd just so that the French pro cannot get knights out. And Puppy Paw can continue to be greedy on the deer here. Like I said, food is the most important aspect of 2v2s, so I am slowly transitioning to farms as well. So I don't go onto the map and, lose a villa. So, and by doing this, I will also allow my knight player to go for the food sources as well. And just in general, knight players need food more than infantry players need, right? Because my longbows are so cheap on food. And obviously knights are expensive. I did say food was the most important to deny here, and I would deny food if I could, but at least in the immediate early game, a lot of people rely on sheep. However, they're actually relying on pro scouts, but the point is that that's at the moment gold is easier to deny. Check another gold vein. Yeah, so this aggressive style is most aggressive styles in general. Just you don't want to play too fast because the opponent does have defender's advantage, right? And you don't want to play too greedy because if you do that, then at some point they're going to be able to overrun you, right? So it's walking a tightrope of playing just greedy enough and just aggressive enough so that you can get some edge with your farms or your map control, right? And I am kind of doing that by denying the gold so much here. And you can see how starved he is for gold. 17 villagers walking back and forth here. Obviously that's just idle time, and these villagers essentially doing nothing at the moment. And Puppy Paw is doing a great job of picking off knights, just getting value here and there. Like I said, I have the Spearman here because they are playing a double Knight Civ, but if they were not playing a double Knight Civ, I would pretty much not be going Spearman here. And that's only because Roos is going Knights as well. And now that I see that he's building archers, I should be limiting my spear production here, but I'm not. But that's just a mistake, I think. I think I should be limiting my spear production here. Obviously, you want to be getting upgrades. Like, you play very, very slow if you are doing an aggressive style like this. You play very slow, you play as English, you're slowly making farms, you're slowly getting upgrades. Like, you don't want to be doing any of this too fast. Just because you primarily want to be focusing on pressure. And slowly add in walls as well if that's what you want to be doing. Check Puppy Paw for a second here. You can see his resources very food and gold heavy. Obviously he's producing purely knights, right? I'm gonna be the one getting siege engineering if we do that. We see pro scouts now, I think. And since we see pro scouts, I do make the decision to go for siege engineering. Now, it doesn't actually work out as planned, but the idea behind it is that, okay, they're gonna have safe food because of pro scouts, so we have to, if we want to deny their resources, we're actually gonna have to push into their base. If they did not go pro scouts, we could instead be denying their resources by just having units, right? Just having units and being like on the deer packs here. But like I said, since they're pro scouts, we kind of need to push into their base a bit. And the beauty of this style is that even if siege engineering does not work, like my big aggressive push does not work, I have been adding in these farms, I've been getting upgrades, I've been doing very, very slowly other things on the map, so that I almost even do also have that economic advantage. And if we check villagers as well, I think Poppy Paw has killed a few. Yeah, so we've all lost a little bit, right? I guess we're not noticeably ahead in the villagers, but again, it doesn't really matter because we have the eco advantage. And okay, yeah, now so he's killing some villagers here. But 2v2s are very delicate, right? Because let's say Puppy Paw is severely behind, or even just a little bit behind our opponents. If only I am ahead in eco, that's all we need to win the game. Because it only takes really one person to be ahead in the game. It's not confusing, but and that's why like the defensive style I'll show you guys right on this video is it almost relies solely on one person getting ahead and the other person just defending. Because all you really need to be ahead in this game, in a 2v2 situation, is have one of your teammates be really strong. And your other teammate, as long as you're surviving, can be a little bit behind. And Puppy Paw is kind of that person, unfortunately. And we can check income here just to show you guys. So at the moment it's pretty close, but I think in a second here. I mean, we are winning in food, right? And like I said, food is most important. We actually, both of us have more food income than our opponents, so. And because we are the aggressors, like I said, I probably repeated this a bit, we're allowed to take map control. And that is a benefit without actually getting damage on this side of the map. Like, we have gotten very few villager kills, but it doesn't matter because we actually don't need to get villager kills to be ahead. As long as they're not going double TC, they're not going Castle Age, right? Like, if they were to do that, we would maybe be able to kill them. And I'm gonna repeat this again because it's important, but if you are playing, like, Ottomans, if you're playing English, if you're playing Aoe4, civs that save a lot of food in the early game, Ottomans with their military schools, as well as their sheep visor, you can be going for farms, and your opponent's, I mean, your teammates' Night Civ, right, can be going for your berries, they can be going for your Dero, they can be, you know, doing all this stuff that you don't need to be doing that's very beneficial to them. And again, Puppy Paw doing such a great job at just killing villagers all over the map. Increase the speed a little bit here, because afterwards our initial aggressive strategy didn't fail, but it didn't win us the game, right? And my next thing is just go Castle Age, benefit from this food income that I've had. And you can see that here, I'm going Castle Age soon, I have a lot of food income. Now, pretty close to CSO, but you have to remember, he's on Deer, right? Oh, a little bit of farms, but not nearly as much as me. And that is... yeah, that is going to lose the game, right? Like, now I have double the food income of anyone in this game, essentially. And they're still on Deer. So, this is... I mean, the aggressive playstyle is not too complicated. It really is just about slowly getting an advantage over the game. Either by having that slow transition, or by doing damage to the opponent if they go for a greedy option like 2TC, fast cast, or etc. If they... I do want to know that if they go for 2TC slash fast castle, you do need to do damage to them, right? Like, if they're going fast castle, you probably need to ramp push them very quick. And I can actually show you a video. I don't want this video to be too long, but I can show you a quick video of how you do punish that immediately. Just so we cover that. But this is a very good video of how to be aggressive against other people who are sort of being aggressive, right? Yeah, and we'll check this video out very quick, because I want to move on to a different composition. But they do a great job in this game of punishing us where we're too greedy, right? And this is actually a good video actually from a defensive standpoint as well. Of what not to do. Because we do play this defensive greedy style, just not perfectly. And they do the aggressive style, right? So they're playing 2 aggressive civs, French and Rus, 2 knight civs. However, the Rus file actually goes archers here, because they know that they need to be aggressive, since Japan is in 2v2s at high level, almost exclusively a knight civ. Sorry, a castle age civ, so which means greedy defensive civ. And that's what Playstyles doing. He's going castle age. We can slow down the video a bit. And you can see that they are immediately rushing us with double archer range. 8 on gold. This is very aggressive. They have no commitment into any tax. Like, not even any eco tax. And he immediately researched siege engineering before any steel arrow upgrade, right? I'm not gonna focus on our playstyle too much here, because this is more the next playstyle to focus on, but let's see how they punish us quicker here. So the first thing they do is they immediately recognize what kind of composition we are. We're a greedy slash defensive composition, which means they need to kill us or do severe damage to us. And they execute it very well. And I'm trying to defend Puppy Paw, but I just don't have enough units. Yeah, it's a bit of a disaster game, to be honest. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys how to play aggressively into a defensive slash greedy style, which is what we did, so. Moving on to the greedy slash defensive play style. Personally, I prefer this playstyle because it covers a wider variety of civs and has a lot more diversity. So with this style, you can either play 2 TC or Castle Rage here, but the idea is that one player plays greedy and your teammate plays defensive for him. So you would pair a greedy civ with a strong early game civ. Greedy civs can include fast castle civs such as Japan/Albids, Japan Albids, H3 Byzantines, or double TC civs such as Abbasid or China. And you would pair that with an aggressive civ in the previous composition like Rus, French, English, Jeanne d'Arc to support you while you greed. So for this playstyle, I want to show you guys a replay of me playing French, sorry, me playing H3 with Rus against two very aggressive civs. And our playstyle here works very well against, well, we execute, I think, very well. And this is actually the final game of the tournament. I'm playing H3 here, and they are playing two Knight civs, Jeanne d'Arc and French. I start off with a box here just to slow them down and give my teammate a little bit of breathing room with the Knights, as well as I'm going to be building Spearmen anyway because they're both Knight civs. I probably could do this if they were Archer civs as well, just so, like I said, my teammate would have that Knight advantage, but it's not mandatory by any means. It's just a preference kind of thing. So it changes the start a little bit, but the idea is still for me to go greedy and for Puppy Paw to almost play like the previous composition, just pure aggressiveness, because he's going to need to do that to, you know, for us to survive in this game. Sheep is always an important aspect of 2v2s. If you have... So both of us are going to need a lot of sheep this game, unfortunately. We didn't pick, like, English or, like, Ottomans, let's say. But if you do have one teammate who is playing English and doesn't need as much as sheep as the other teammate, you can gift some of your sheep to that player. And I think we do swap sheep around a little bit here, just because as a tree you do need a lot of sheep, especially if you're fast casting, you're not going to be able to go for resources out on the map. Whereas Roos is going to be able to do that, right? Because they have the Kremlin. He's going to be able to get all these deer. Because he has the Kremlin, and he's also going to be playing aggressively, so I think he gives me a few sheep here. I think he actually gave me 3 sheep at the start of the game as well. I missed that, I remember. So like I said, food being important. It's important that I have a lot, right? And you can see that I do a lot because he is gifting me a lot. Obviously, you can see my resources here. I am fast castling, and they actually scouted it. They see that as well, and they are purely going into aggression here, other than the towers, which I forced out of them in the early game. And Puppy Paw going heavy into the units as well. I think he probably will put in another stable down at some point. Just needs the wood for it. And his macro, as you can probably see here, is... well, he has a little bit too much food, but... I mean, nice cost a lot of food, so it's fine. Just needs another stable. And I have a pretty quick cast rage timing. The Ragnitz is a little bit far from the TC, but it's okay. I just don't want to put in... I'm just being a bit greedy, and I don't want to put any of the Aachen, right? So, like, this is a little trick. You can cover the charge range with your scout. And... but... like, I'm being greedy as possible. They're being as aggressive as possible. And this is still working. It's actually dropping a blacksmith as well, CSO. William T dropping another stable. Puppy Paw has 2 stables, so like I said, he is playing that aggressive style just to defend me so I can get the edge in the game here. And I am playing pretty greedy, right? Like, I have no units outside of those 2 spearmen at the start of the game that are defending my gold at the moment. Like, if Puppy Paw, let's say, was not building units, they would probably be able to overrun us here. Yeah. I mean, this is the most important part about this strategy is the early game. Like, surviving this phase is the most important. And you can see here it's actually going to take me a while to even get the unit count up to be able to grab these rocks and stuff, but it's not essential to do that instantly because, like, I actually haven't lost that many villages, right? Like, I think I lost 1 on the tower. So... we're not really behind in the game at all, so I don't need to be getting these rocks instantly to be ahead. I just need to... I need to produce units, get better units because they're age 3 knights, and then, once I have better units, I can actually go out on the map and start to actually get that economic advantage. And I'm building farms once again. I'm very starved for food. Like, it is a very difficult spot to be in at the moment, but, like, it's not the end of the world or anything. And they actually need to tower their deal and stuff. They can't be, like, very greedy because Puppy Paw is playing that aggressive style. Like, for instance, if we were both being greedy, number 1, we probably would have died by now, but number 2, they would just take the entire map. They wouldn't have towers all over the place. Yeah. And I'm playing extremely slow, and it doesn't matter. Just trying to get that food eco up, actually, because you can see that they're doing a great job in denying it, right? My food eco, at least, like, Louis is consistent on these berries to make sure I'm not producing, or don't have the food to produce too many knights. I go a bit greedy and actually go for the berries behind here. Because obviously he's hard focused on these berries. And Puppy Paw continuing to commit to that H2 pressure. Drops the 3rd stables here. I go out for the rock a bit early, get punished for that, but it's not a big deal. I mean, he's bringing him close to the base, so it's easy to get radar. And this would be the same if you were playing like a 2TC's playstyle, right? Except I would be in feudal and I'd be slowly getting my advantage with villagers instead of rocks. But I don't want you guys to think that like this is only fast castle stuff. I think fast castle stuff is a bit easier because it allows you to go into that knight fight a little bit quicker. But like let's say he's like let's say I'm playing Abyss or something, Puppy Paw would still have knights and stuff so that you could be aggressive on the map and stuff. And so that I'd just be massing archers and stuff in Feudal Age. So we'd be playing the 2TC playstyle, but with an archer slash knight style instead of double knight style. And I think, as a general rule, if you're going for fast castle, you're going to be going for knights, right? So, like if you were playing Japan, Albids, etc. And if you're playing a 2TC playstyle, the greedy player would be going for archers. Because they'd be playing like Abyss China, for example. And the beauty behind this kind of strategy is that, like I said, Puppy Paw is not actually getting any eco advantage in this game, right? Like, he's maybe even a little bit behind CSO and Blue ENT. It's just that I am so far ahead in this game. Because I'm starting to pick up these rocks, I have these farms, that's really where we are getting an advantage from in this game. And that's, that's like I said, the beauty of 2v2s, is walking with your partner and stuff. Puppy Paw is sacrificing himself for the greater good. $42 bills, 45 bills, 42, 49. So yeah, all pretty close, right? It's just the relic difference, the farm difference that is really going to start to take effect here. Like I'm mentioning this stuff over and over again, but you can really see that Puppy Paw is taking most of the resources on the map. He's going to take these deer as well. And I'm playing that more condensed farm style with like Aoe4, Byzantine, you'd be doing it with English, you'd be doing it with not farms with auto, but the sheep buys are with auto, so you'd be allowing your Knight Civ to be taking these deer packs out on the map. Like, play to each of your Civ's strengths. And that is Aoe farms and stuff, right? In this game, that is. Whereas both of them, they're playing good civs, two really good civs and 2v2s, but they are also both of them heavily need food, right? And you can see that they're all gobbling up the food on the map extremely fast. And at this point, all we need to do is just really... I mean, I think we probably could be taking fights here, but we don't need to. So we're just playing safe. And letting them run out of food. Letting the Aoe stuff just pay off. Or our greed pay off. And speed up the video a bit, I think. You can see income here. But yeah, for the time being, UAMT is pretty close in income. I mean, I still have more food income. But like I said, he's gonna run out soon. We should probably be walling as well a little bit more. Because obviously you want to wall against knights, but it's just extremely difficult to do so. Probably the only guy in H2 still. Just, sacrificing himself, like I said. I'm actually gonna go imp H at some point here. Because I have pretty good food income. 27 farms. 29 in a second. And everyone else in the game probably has less than 10. They're all over the map. And you can just see the income per minute just skyrocket above everyone else. And my military count does as well here as soon as well. So, very messy game, but I think it's a very good game to run from, especially if you want to play this greedy slash defensive style. And I, in my opinion, really prefer this style. I think it's a great way to play 2v2s. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I've really been enjoying the 2v2 gameplay, and yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys some insights and some hopefully helpful ways to play 2v2s. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Take care, guys.